Hello! Today we're going to be learning about adding and subtracting fractions. There's a few rules we need to know first before we get started. To add or subtract fractions, they must have the same denominator. This means the number on the bottom must be the same in both fractions. Once we have the same denominator in both fractions, we'll just add straight across. You add and subtract the numerators to get the new numerator. You keep the common denominator and just bring it straight across the equation. Here we have an example. We have 1/5 plus 3/5. So since we already have the same denominator, we just will go ahead and bring that number straight across. So the denominator will stay as 5. Then we're going to add 1 plus 3 and get 4. So our new fraction will be 4/5. We can show this in a picture by coloring in the new squares. So we have 1/5 and 3/5. So we can see here in the picture that there are 4 out of the 5 shaded, which means the answer is 4/5. Okay, here's some other examples. In this example, we have 5/8 minus 3/8. Since we already have the same denominator, we're going to go ahead and just bring it across and keep the denominator as 8. And then we'll just subtract on the top. So 5 minus 3 gives us 2. We can show this pictorially by having 5/8 shaded and then crossing out 3. By doing this, you can see that we now have 2/8 shaded. Okay, so here's another example. 3/4 minus 2/4. We already have the same denominator, so we're going to go ahead and bring that straight across. So the denominator will stay 4. Then we have 3 minus 2, which will give us 1. So that'll be our answer. Lastly, we have 3/4 plus 3/8. We have the same denominator, so we're going to bring it straight across. So the denominator is going to stay 8. And 4 plus 3 is 7, so we get 7/8. Now, what do we do if the denominator is different in the fractions? Let's say we have 5/12 plus 1/6. How will we add them together? How will we know what denominator we'll have if there's a 12 and a 6? To do this, we're going to find a common factor. For example, we have 5/12 plus 1/6. A common factor would be 12. So to get both the numbers to 12, we must multiply the second fraction by 2. We're going to multiply the top and the bottom. So we're just going to bring down the 5/12. And then we'll do 1 times 2 is 2. And 6 times 2 is 12. Now that we have the same denominator, we can just add straight across. So 5 plus 2 is 7. We just bring across our denominator, which will give us 7/12. Here's a few more examples. We have 1/9 plus 2/3. A common denominator they could have is 9. So we're going to take 1/9 and just bring it down. And then what do we do to 3 to get to 9? We multiply by 3. So we'll multiply both top and bottom by 3. So 2 times 3 is 6, and 3 times 3 is 9. And now we have the same denominator, so we can just add straight across. So we bring over our common denominator, and then we have 1 plus 6, which is 7. So our answer will be 7/9. Lastly, we have 1/36 plus 5/6. So we can multiply 6 by 6 to get 36. So we'll multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 6. We'll bring down 1/36 and add. 5 times 6 is 30. So our top number will be 30. And 6 times 6 is 36. Now we have a common denominator, so we can go ahead and bring it straight across. And then, since we have a common denominator, we can go ahead and just add our numerators. So 1 plus 30 is 31. So our answer would be 31/6. That's how you add and subtract fractions. Here's a few examples you can do on your own if you'd like. Thanks!